Hey y'all, it is Friday edition of Confessions of a Nashville Songwriter. I had one question come in that I'll cover right off the bat. Guy was like, "What's the deal with all the guys in Nashville wearing hats?" Well, in my case, I'm going bald so fast, I can't even keep up with it. So I guess I'm insecure about that. So, that's what it is. So, and actually, deep down, I think I really want to be like early Lee Bryce. So I'll do this. Hey, Lee. Actually, I can't get it on right. But anyway, we're going to do it with the Friday. You know, we songwriters get to do a lot of really cool things and invited to go to a lot of really cool places. And I'm really thankful for that because I've seen places I never would have seen had I not been in this business. And one of the things we got to do one time was go to Florida, Key West, on two, I guess they were 55, 65 foot yachts. A bunch of us, probably 10 riders, maybe 12. A couple other people. And man, it was just amazing being on that water in a boat that size. I mean, the blue in that ocean is a blue you don't see anywhere else really. And the sky's just amazing, and it's quiet and it's cool. And at night, you know, there's not much ambient light around, so the stars are just, I mean, it's just experiences that are amazing, and I love them. And I love the ocean anyway, so that was a really cool thing to get to do. And one of the trips, we get invited, same thing, on these yachts, and we're going to go to Isla Mujeres, Mexico, which is right across the channel from Cancun. Really cool little small fishing town, I think is what it was. It's grown into a tourist town, and it's awesome. I mean, it's really great. So we go down to this trip, and there's a bunch of us, and we're going to write, and we're there, you know, for the first day, and we're having a blast, and it's a great time, and the boats are awesome, and the people are cool, and the sun's out, and we're all running around with just shorts on and no shirt, and just having a blast, man. And the boat captain, the boat that I was on, the guy was one of the coolest guys I'd ever met. Let's call him Brad. And Brad was, I think he was from Florida or had been in Florida for a long time as a boat captain, diver, deep water diver. He'd even been involved in some deep water, or not necessarily deep water, but Caribbean exploration for treasure from the boats that went down way back in the, 16, 17, 1800s, I guess. Maybe those dates aren't right, but a long time ago. You know, the kind where you find gold and all that. So, the guy was cool, man. You know, long hair, tan, great boat captain. And if you don't know your way around the ocean, and if you don't really know your way around a boat, you know, the ocean is like the desert. It's trying to hurt you, man, if you're inexperienced. And he knew it all. He's just a great guy. I loved him. So, trip's going great. Well, one afternoon, we're going to go snorkel. And there's some great reefs and snorkeling down there. So, before we go, he's like, "Hey, y'all, let's put all your wallets and everything in this dry bag. So, you know, you don't take it with you and forget your wallet, lose your watch, whatever." So, we did that. Put it all in there. And on this table in the dining room, boat has a dining room. That was cool. There are event posters from this event we were playing. So he asked us to sign the posters. We signed the posters. There were probably 10 posters. I don't know. Go on the snorkel trip. It's awesome. We have a great time. Come back, get our stuff, and go play a couple of shows at night. And the end of the trip was, I guess it was 5 or 6 days long. And just have an absolute great time. Get back home, and my credit cards start getting hacked. I'm like, my debit card. So I start canceling them all and getting replacements. I thought, well, traveled through 3 different airports and all that business. So, that stuff happens. Get that fixed. That's over. About a month later, I get a phone call in the middle of the day. Hey, is this William Leathers? Yes, it is. Well, this is Agent Grinder with the FBI. And I'm thinking, it's one of my buddies, and I was like, yeah, okay, how can I help you? And he went, well, I'm just wondering if you know a person named Brad so-and-so. I was like, well, yeah, I do. I've been on a couple of trips with him. And he said, well, Brad is under investigation for several different issues, fraud, theft, things like that. Apparently, if you're a boat owner, you can lease that boat. And if you lease that boat, you can go borrow against that lease. So if I lease a boat in October and it's April, the boat owner can go borrow whatever I'm committed to lease the boat for right now and help fund the operation. Pretty common, apparently. Well, there are a bunch of banks all up and down the Atlantic coast that Brad had been doing this with, and they were pretty unhappy about it. So apparently they lifted my name off of the poster we signed and used some of my credit card numbers to lease boats a bunch of times and borrowed money against it. I wasn't the only one. I was the only one on this trip, but there were a bunch of other people. And there was all kinds of other nefarious things going on too. This is the one I was involved in. So FBI guys, can you come talk to us? I'm like, can I come right now? Because I knew I hadn't done anything, but the FBI calls, it's like, what, the Friday? So I go to the FBI office. It's really nondescript building, didn't even know it was there. You put me in a 10 by 10 room, metal desk, and this 2 FBI people walk in, agents. The guy looks exactly like he's supposed to look. And there's a female FBI agent, and she looks exactly like she's supposed to look. They were both fit, beautiful, all that. And they start into this. Well, they think I'm involved, which I wasn't. So they started asking me all these real specific questions. Do you know this? Do you know that? It went down the whole thing. Have you been on this boat? And said the boat name. And I said, yeah, I've been on that boat. And I told him what I had done and where I'd been. And he was like, yeah. And I think after about 45 minutes, they figured that I wasn't involved. They knew all the questions to ask. And plus I was scared I was nervous. Hell, it's the FBI, man. And, they whip those badges out and it gets real in a hurry, So we wrap all that up and they said, we're probably going to be back in touch with you. And they called me back 5-6 months later. Well, what did I call him? Brad has been arrested and they're going to trial. I get to be a witness. The trial is in Fort Pierce, Florida. If you've ever been to Fort Pierce, it's on the Atlantic side. Pretty small town. Used to be an old fishing town. There's not much there. I mean, really not much there. So I to show up, on like a Sunday night, rent a car, drive to my hotel. I'm supposed to testify the next morning at 9 o'clock. Show up to courtroom. Can't have any electronics, no phone, no computer, no iPad, no nothing. You can bring a book. So I figured if I'm going in at 9 o'clock, I'll be done by noon easily, because I don't really have that much to say. I wasn't very much a part of it. So I didn't even bring a book. Outside the courtroom is a bench, about 10 feet long, and it's wood. And I sat on that bench. 4 o'clock comes around, they don't call me. Go back to the hotel. There's nothing in town. There's like a Applebee's and a fast food. So got something to eat, went back, watched TV, went to bed. Next morning, Tuesday. The FBI guys say, you're probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock. They don't call me. 4 o'clock, I'm still sitting on that bench. No electronics, no nothing. Same thing that night. Next day, Wednesday, nothing. Don't call me. 4 o'clock comes around, yeah, we're not going to use you today. Thursday, Same old thing. So I told the FBI guy, I said, man, I'm missing a week of work and y'all are paying me $94 a day, and what do you think? How long is this going to be? And he was like, well, and they were cool, man. I loved these guys. They were really awesome and really bright guys. And so he said, tomorrow, man, I'm sure tomorrow. So tomorrow comes around, Friday. And I'm really in a foul mood at this point. I mean, I'm being patient. I'm not losing it. 2 o'clock comes around. They call me. I get in there and they swear me in, and there's Brad, and he wouldn't even look at me. So I go up and I do the yes, I'm William Leathers, and I give him my address and all that, and the judge says, so you're a songwriter? I said, yes, Your Honor. He went, I found that very fascinating and very interesting. I said, I do too, Your Honor. It's really it's fantastic. I love everything about it. It's a great job. Well, tell me about it. Now I'm on the stand and the judge wants to talk about songwriting. Well, so tell me some songs you've written. Tell me that I might know, which is like the worst question because you don't know what they would know. You don't know what radio they listen to. You don't know. So I didn't. And the attorney goes, Your Honor, I've got a list I'll be able to provide to you if you'd like to see that. But we'd like to really, speed this up. The prosecutor was great. He sensed that I was a little frustrated because I wanted to tell my thing and get home, man. So the judge keeps on. So how do you do it? Are you a piano player? Do you write notes on the, what's that paper called? Where the lines are? I said, no, sir, that's not really how it works. I mean, there are people that do that, after the fact. They might want to sell sheet music, but I'm just going, please, oh my gosh. So they get to me and I answer like 8 questions. Do you know this man? Yes. Did you sign this? No. Did you sign this lease? No. Did you sign this poster? Yes. Are these your credit card numbers? Yes. And that was it. I was done. 30 minutes, max. After a week of sitting there in that federal courthouse in Fort Pierce, Florida. Brad was doing what he had to do, and I just happened to be a part of it. It ended up fine, and I don't know what happened. I think Brad went to the joint for a little while, which is unfortunate, but that's what you got to do. So I kept thinking about it and thought, that was awful. But maybe that's the price I got to pay to be able to get to do these awesome things. Places I get to visit, songs I get to be a part of, artists I get to write with, people I get to know who have blessed my life and who I've formed lifelong relationships with. So I kind of got over it and got through it, and I was comfortable with that. Yep, that's what it was. And I get home and tell Jane all about it, and she has 1,000 questions. And there's only like 7 questions, that they asked me. So we talked all through it, and all my buddies, I couldn't really talk much about to the people that were on the trip until after. So I start telling all them, and they're going, what? Why you? I was like, I don't know why me, why not me? And in the end, it was an awesome experience. I learned a lot about how smart the FBI is. The FBI is on your trail. They already know everything they need to know. You're done if they're coming after you, because the FBI does not like to lose. So they don't ask questions they don't already know the answer to. So don't get chased by the FBI. For one thing, stay away from those guys, because they're all really bright guys. And whatever it is like that, when things like that happen, just do your part. Do your duty, which I did. I made my $400 that week. And actually, I didn't get paid for the last 3 days, and I called a couple times. down to the sweet lady down there. She was in the clerk's office. I was like, you know, she goes, well, it's the federal government, you know. I said, no, I don't. But she goes, well, I'll try. And I didn't even pursue it after that. I never got paid. But I get paid by being able to do what I get to do and being a songwriter. So that was the price I paid. It was fun. I hope you're never in that position. Don't ever go snorkeling unless you know where your wallet is and who has it. So that's my What the Friday. Hope it doesn't happen again. Hope it didn't happen to you. But if it does, suck it up. Be thankful, learn, and move on. That's how it works. I will see y'all next time on Confessions of a Nashville Songwriter. See ya. And I really do want to be Lee Bryce. I do. Hey, Lee. What's up? They call him Big Country, by the way, because he's massive, big dude. And his personality's big. Peace out, y'all. See ya.